Let's talk about holy water.
Yep.
First, thank you for my gift.
Yeah, where's your water?
My water is over there.
Right over there.
Paul brought me a container of water from the Jordan River.
Mm-hmm.
I asked Paul. Paul asked me, "What do you want while I'm in Israel?" And I said, "You know what, Paul? I want rocks. I collect rocks from all over the place." And Paul was kind enough to bring me a bag full of rocks from his travels over there, and some water from the Jordan River.
I ain't sure the rocks were legal, but the water was. I'd pick those rocks up and put them in my pocket, and then put them in the suitcase. So,
I've picked up rocks all over the world.
Okay, well,
if it's illegal, it's illegal,
well,
and I'll gladly have them in my house. You got to see big footprint.
Yeah, Bigfoot was at the pool of Siloam. Is that right? That was the place, and you see where the blind man. Jesus said, "You want to be healed?" And he said, "Yeah," and he reached down and put mud on his eyes and told him to go wash in that pool 7 times.
Yep.
And he went down there and washed 7 times, and the scales fell, and he could see. And that's when he ran and told everybody. And we got to the spot where he ran up the hill.
You joked about...
Well, I joked. Everybody's sitting there, and there's a Bigfoot there. I said, "We've been talking to Bigfoot with Earl down him." I said, "There, Bigfoot's over here." And it look, the picture shot, but the foot now is that big.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you say I didn't explain it to me.
I was surprised that they didn't
No,
explain
they did not.
In these ritual pools, and in the Jewish faith at that point in time, before you would enter a temple, before you could enter into prayer, you had to have a ritual cleansing.
Right.
In order
That's
to
true.
enter,
You did. Yeah, they told us that.
In order to enter the ritual bath,
right,
your feet had to be clean.
Yeah.
So they have all of these places where people carved out footprints.
Well, that's one of them.
So people can wash their feet before they go into the ritual bath.
Because that fella had a big foot. If that was
had to be a big foot. Let's talk about the Jordan River, Paula.
Mm-hmm. Well,
you got to see the mouth of the Jordan,
where it comes off of Mount Hermon. Those beautiful clear waters. It's cold and beautiful, like Colorado. You can drink that water. You know the mountains of Colorado. It comes down through there and makes the Jordan River. And then it goes on down, of course, to the Dead Sea. There's 2 little streams that come out of there, and then they form the Jordan River. Then, of course, we show the baptism. I filmed the baptism. I've been baptized. I would like to have done it. Unfortunately, I have a condition called position vertigo, and if I'd have gone down, I'd have been dizzy the rest of the time. I didn't want to take that chance. I started to go out there and let them sprinkle me, but I'm afraid it'd make me a Methodist. Not that there's anything wrong with being a Methodist, but I ain't never heard of John the Methodist. I looked for that. You know, the Bible says, make a joyful noise unto the Lord, so we have to have fun. I refuse to believe that Jesus did not have fun in life some too, but now let me tell you, you know, Jesus was not, as they explain, not always this little passive effect, because when they were selling things in the church, he took the tables and said, "You're making my Father's house a den of thieves," and he threw them out of selling. That's why I don't sell any of my CDs or anything in a church to this day. I read that, and I don't think that now a lot of churches do it. If y'all think you ought to, you do. I'm not going to do it.
Okay, let's right. Pause right here.
Yeah.
Take a break. We got to pay for some TV time.
Yeah.
God bless all of our sponsors.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back with more from Paul Ott.
You the history of everything from the time of civilization all through Jesus, and it was really interesting to listen to him, I'm going to tell you. But anyway, he said, "Paul Ott, what do you think of Herod now that you've heard?" I said, "He was a sorry devil." So he started saying, "I'm so glad I can use that on all my tours now. Herod was a sorry devil."